Hi, I'm Jennifer, and while my career as a business consultant keeps me busy, my true pride is my family, my foster kids, whom I'm in the process of adopting. Are you sure about this, Jennifer? Foster kids come with so much baggage. My brother David remarked when I started the process 5 years ago. I still remember his condescending smile across the dinner table. Not everyone needs a biological connection to love their children. David, I shot back, already tired of his judgment. That was the beginning of my journey with Emily and Kevin. Emily was a quiet 11-year-old who loved reading medical encyclopedias, while 9-year-old Kevin could already code better than most adults I knew. They had been through 4 homes before me, but I wanted them to feel secure. Miss Jennifer, are we really staying? Emily asked that first night, clutching her worn backpack. As long as you want to, sweetheart, this is your home now. My best friend, Rachel, has been my rock through everything. Girl, you're more of a natural mother than half the PTA moms, she told me last week while helping Emily with her science project. These little moments, Kevin bursting into my home office to show me his coding competition trophy, Emily telling me about her latest science project, make all the extra consulting jobs worth it. Every extra dollar I earn goes into their college funds. That's amazing, buddy. Harvard better watch out, I told Kevin, seeing his eyes light up. Then there's my brother David and his wife, Sandra, with their perfect biological children and massive house. Oh, how charitable of you. Sandra says at every family event, like my choice to foster is some quaint, disposable hobby. At our last barbecue, I overheard her whisper to another mom. They're not really family, it's more like long-term babysitting. My parents try to be supportive, but David always seems to have their ear. We just worry about your future, Mom told me yesterday. Real children might still be possible. I took a deep breath. They are real children, Mom. They're my children. I'm pouring everything into giving Emily and Kevin the life they deserve. Emily dreams of becoming a doctor, and Kevin talks about studying computer engineering. My babies are going places, and no one, not David, not Sandra, no one is going to stand in their way. One night, Emily hugged me after I helped her with her biology homework. You're the best thing that ever happened to us, she whispered. I held her tight, thinking of all the nights I prayed for a family. I never knew I could love this fiercely, but here we are, my perfect chosen family. But lately, David's been acting strange whenever the topic of money or inheritance comes up. And I have a bad feeling. At our last family dinner, I was telling Mom about Emily's perfect SAT scores when David cleared his throat, giving me a smug smile. You know, it's cute how you're playing house with these temporary kids, but let's be real, they're not actually going to inherit anything, right? The table went silent. Emily's fork clattered against her plate. What did you just say about my children? I asked, barely containing my anger. Oh, come on, Jennifer. They're foster kids. You're just their current guardian. Mom, Dad, you can't seriously be thinking of putting them in the will. I watched Kevin's face crumble as Sandra smirked behind her wine glass. Actually, David, I'm in the final stages of adopting them both, I said firmly. Those college funds you're setting up are a waste of money, David sneered. They'll probably drop out anyway. Statistics, you know. Emily ran from the table, and Kevin followed, tears in his eyes. Later that week, I heard Sandra at school pickup, mocking me again. Poor Jennifer, so desperate for a family she'll take in anyone's leftovers. I was about to confront her when my phone rang. It was Rachel. Jennifer, you need to hear this. David's been at the country club, telling everyone how unstable your kids are and making up stories about their pasts. My stomach sank, but nothing prepared me for what came next. Michael, a colleague, called. Jennifer, David was asking about your accounts at the bank today, specifically the kids' college funds. He seemed really interested in how they're structured. That night, Emily came to me. Mom, I heard Uncle David on the phone in the garden. He was talking to a lawyer about contesting inheritance rights for adopted children. I hugged her tight. Baby, no one is taking anything from you. The final straw came during a family meeting about our parents' estate. David brought his lawyer along. These foster arrangements are temporary by nature, the lawyer droned. It would be unwise to include non-family members in any permanent financial plans. They're not temporary, I snapped, slamming my hand on the table. And I'm more family than you'll ever be. David sneered. Face reality, Jennifer. You're not their real mother. You never will be. That night, as I tucked Kevin into bed, as Kevin's small voice trembled, he asked, "Are we temporary, Mom?" I pulled him close and called Emily into the room. "Listen to me, both of you. Family isn't about blood. It's about love. You are my children forever, and no one can change that." But as I lay awake that night, a gnawing unease crept in. David's sudden interest in the college funds, his obsession with the inheritance. Something wasn't right. I had to find out what was really going on, even if it meant exposing my own brother. What I didn't realize was that David had secrets, big ones, and they were about to unravel. The first piece fell into place when Michael pulled me aside at work. "Remember how interested David was in those college funds? I did some digging, and he's in serious trouble. Hundreds of thousands in gambling debt, Jennifer." My hands shook as I scanned the documents he'd found. David, the golden boy, was drowning. And the worst part? "Your parents' retirement accounts look suspicious too," Michael pointed out. Large withdrawals, all traced to David's accounts. My stomach churned. David was stealing from our parents. Later that week, I had a surprise visitor. Maria, Emily, and Kevin's biological aunt. "I heard what your brother's been saying about the kids. It's not right," she said. "I signed away my rights because I knew they'd have a better life with you. I want to help." Over coffee, Maria shared more. "Sandra approached me last month, offered me money to contest the adoption, said it would be better for everyone." My phone buzzed. It was Rachel. "You won't believe this, Jennifer. Sandra's running a real estate scam, taking deposits for properties she doesn't even own." I recorded everything, building my case, but the next bombshell hit closer to home. Emily came home one day, tears streaming down her face. "Uncle David told Grandma and Grandpa that Kevin and I are stealing from them. He said that's why money keeps disappearing from their accounts." I held her close. "Baby, I promise you, the truth will come out." That night, David showed up drunk at my house. "Just give me access to those college funds, Jennifer. I can double the money in a week, triple it even." I pressed record on my phone. "Like you doubled Mom and Dad's retirement money?" I asked. He sneered. "Those old fools don't need it anyway. And those brats of yours don't deserve it." "Yeah, I took their money, all of it, and there's nothing you can do about it. Get out of my house." As he stumbled away, I called Michael. "I got it all on record." But Sandra wasn't done. She cornered me at the grocery store. "Listen here, charity case. Those kids will never be real Mitchells. Back off from the inheritance or I'll make sure everyone knows about their troubled past." "Oh, you mean like your fake real estate deals, Sandra?" Her face drained of color. That evening, Maria called. "Jennifer, I've kept records of every conversation with Sandra, every bribe offer, every threat. I'm ready to go public." That night, I sat with Emily and Kevin. "Remember when you asked if you were temporary? Well, I have proof now of who's really temporary in this family. And it's not you two." Kevin hugged me tight. "We knew you'd protect us, Mom." As I watched them do their homework, my phone lit up with a message from Michael. The company board wanted a meeting about David's activities. Sandra's real estate victims were organizing. The house of cards was finally about to fall, and this time, I wasn't going to stop it. I looked at the adoption papers on my desk, nearly complete. Let them try to fight this. I had truth on my side, and karma was finally coming to collect. Everything exploded on a Tuesday. David was in a board meeting when the anonymous evidence landed in every director's inbox. According to Michael, who was there, David's face went from red to ghostly white in seconds. "Get out of this building, David. Security will escort you." The CEO's voice echoed down the hall. By Wednesday, Sandra's real estate scam hit the local news, her face plastered everywhere as victims came forward. That evening, my parents arrived at my door, devastated. "Jennifer, we found out about the retirement accounts. All these years, David was..." My mom trailed off, horrified. "And those college funds he wanted? They're now double, thanks to your grandparents." I told my kids that night that our adoption hearing was scheduled for Friday. David and Sandra made one last desperate attempt in court. "Your Honor, these children have a biological aunt who," David began. But Maria stepped forward, undeterred. "I fully support Jennifer as their mother, and I have documentation of their attempts to bribe me right here." The judge brought down the gavel. "Congratulations, Miss Mitchell. They are officially your children." Fast forward 5 years, and I'm watching Emily pack for medical school. She got a full ride to Johns Hopkins. Harvard's computer science department is already recruiting Kevin for when he graduates next year. Hey mom, guess who's working at Target now? Kevin showed me his phone, where a very tired-looking David was wearing a red vest and stocking shelves. And Sandra's doing midnight shifts at Walmart in Arizona. Emily added with a smirk. Guess karma doesn't take credit cards. My parents moved closer to us after everything, and now they've never been closer to their grandchildren. We were so blind, Mom said one Sunday dinner. But look at what you've built, Jennifer, a real family. Rachel raised her glass. To the best mom I know, who showed us all what family truly means. Michael, now more than just a colleague, squeezed my hand under the table. Last week, I received a letter from David, a rambling apology claiming he changed and missed his family. I didn't even open it, just as I ignored Sandra's letters begging for money to avoid bankruptcy. Some bridges are better left burned. Mom, Emily called from the kitchen. We're making your favorite lasagna. As I watched my kids laughing and cooking, tossing cheese at each other, I thought about how sometimes the worst betrayals lead us to our best lives. David and Sandra thought they could tear us apart, but they only made us stronger. Kevin hugged me from behind. Thanks for fighting for us, Mom. Always, baby, always. And that's how my story of justice ends, not with revenge, but with success. My kids are thriving, our family is closer than ever, and those who tried to hurt us? Well, karma has its own way of handling that. What would you do if a family member tried to steal your children's future? Could you forgive them, or are some betrayals simply unforgivable? Share your thoughts below.